All right, Robert, episode 101 of Real Estate Chat. And tomorrow's a big day. You know why, Robert?
Tomorrow, well, I think there's some sort of an announcement.
In this episode of Real Estate Chat with
John Perez.
and Robert Eid, we're going to be talking about the Bank of Canada interest rate announcement. And the announcement is that there will be no rate hike, right, Robert?
A 95% chance, yes.
Which, as you pointed out to me, is 19 out of 20. So let's jump into this article. Bank of Canada expected to stand pat as economy weakens. Inflation slows. And Robert and I were talking about how, I guess, some of these article writers delay these news because this was also in a previous article that was shared with me by Robert. And in the Financial Post, talking about the same thing, inflation rate fell to 3.8% in September from 4% in August. So a little bit of a touch, 0.2. And because of that, there will be no rate hike. And we've covered this before. So watch previous episode. Make sure you click on subscribe. And if you still like us by the end of this episode, make sure you click on like. Robert, no surprise here, but what does it mean really that if no rate hike does happen tomorrow when we wake up and it's around 10 o'clock, I guess that they're going to announce it. First of all, it's not going to be a surprise, but what does it mean to Real Estate Chat viewers?
Okay, it means no news is good news. But actually, in this case, no news is bad news. The real estate business is crying out for relief, either in terms of price dropping, which nobody wants, interest rates dropping, or incomes rising. So there's no news on the income rising. There's no news on the interest rate dropping. And we don't even want to talk about prices dropping because it's in nobody's best interest for that to happen. So,
well, isn't it in the buyer's best interest for prices to drop? One might say.
well, in order for the buyers who don't own any real estate, let's say that they're 25% of the potential market plus 50% of the people who will never own a house. I don't know, 90% of people who will never own a house. They do not matter. They do not spend enough money. They do not have enough money. They live off the government. What they do does not matter. So what their opinion, like these people are all 27-year-old writers for the Toronto Star. It does not matter what those permanent tenants think about house prices. It doesn't matter.
What should our Real Estate Chat viewers think about this? Because we have, again, there's two groups here on Real Estate Chat who comment that there will be continuous rate hikes, and not that they
I
want
believe
it,
that
but
too. I believe the rate hikes will continue. This is just another pause for no reason. If the guy's committed to a plan, stick to the plan. If he's not, announce it. He's trying to play both ends against the middle and appease every one of these submarkets that we've talked to many times, and I just shot my mouth off about 5 seconds ago.
Okay, so rate hike doesn't happen tomorrow. Then we start to see, I guess, inflation continue to happen, and they say, "Oops, you know what? Let's
because of the cost of
something."
housing multiplied by the interest rates on the monthly payments, causing people to not enjoy their mortgage payment, not enjoy the amount of spending that they have, borrow on their credit cards to try and continue the lifestyle that they got accustomed to during the low rate lockdown. It's a madhouse right now, but everybody is trying to pretend everything is fine. This is really part two of what happened in 2008, where they kicked it down the road. Now they kicked it down the road, and then things were about to blow up, and so they had lockdown instead, deferred it for another few years, another election, another this, that, and the other thing. Now, the only thing that can save them maybe is if they have a war, but nobody wants to say that.
Well, I don't think we're going to get into that on this episode, but, of course, hoping everybody's watching this, your families are well and safe. Now, Robert, we're going to be talking about in future episodes what October is looking like. So again, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so that you don't miss out on that. But Robert, October and, 2 more months remaining, and then we're going to see sort of how the forecast of the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board look like. We're also going to go back. It's going to be a very interesting episode closer to the end of the year. We're going to look back at our 2023 predictions that we shot in 2022.
Excellent.
But for the sake of our real estate viewers who have remained very loyal in watching this, what is the advice, or what's the strategy now here? Because we're hearing news that some buyers have bought and committed to buying 2 or 3 month maybe closing, relying on the sale of their house. Their house didn't sell. some sellers are going into this market with the expectation of lofty 2000, peak prices, or if not even peak prices, spring of 2023 prices, and their homes are not selling. So there's a lot of mess in the marketplace right now. There's a lot of real estate agents that are going through a lot of challenges. Mind you, there are some that are helping clients make their moves as well. But what is the move for somebody who wants to transact at this point, Robert? Like, what would your advice be to them, knowing that if this pause in the rates instills a little bit of confidence, but there may be more caution to come, is it safe to enter the market at this point?
Okay, 5 segments. First time buyer got nothing to sell. Last time seller got nothing to buy. Trade up buyer who's going to sell one to buy another. Investor who's underwater. Investors in the money. Investor's doing nothing. He's not buying. He's not selling. Maybe if he's underwater, he's selling. So there's more inventory. We're inventory heading up to 20,000. That'll be interesting to hear what the Toronto Real Estate Board says about that in 2 weeks. So if you're buying, you're going to look for a price advantage from someone who's absolutely serious about selling. So you're going to be a vulture. If you're selling, then you put the very best face on what you've got, price it at exactly what you want to sell it for, offer a deal on financing for the perfect, most wonderful guy in the world who will give you the closing that you want to do next. Always, if you're a buy-sell customer, do the tough thing first. If it seems it's hard to find what you want, then don't do anything on the sell side until you bought it. Conversely, if whatever you want is wide supply, you want to buy a 1-bedroom condo at Yonge and Bloor, then do the tough thing first. Sell it.
And speaking of the tough things, we've got future episodes too, where we're going to be talking about certain projects not materializing, certain difficulties in the marketplace, so that we can help you navigate through this and get along just fine. So make sure you set up your alarm clock if you're watching this on Tuesday night. If you're watching this and the rate hike announcement happened, and for whatever reason we're wrong, well, type into the comments that we're wrong. We'd love to hear from you as well. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Real Estate Chat. Take care and bye for now.
Yeah. Very good luck.